Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
A log truck overturned, and it is creating a mess along a Durham County road. This morning in the WRAL Live Center, what we're working to learn, including what led up to this.
And our next weather maker is headed our way. It's not likely to bring us much rain, but it'll be warm ahead of it and cooler behind it. I'll show you what to expect.
And redistricting fine, a new proposal from Republican state lawmakers, could be approved today, creating one fewer Democratic district. The final steps before the map becomes law.
And laptop debate. Wake County schools considering changing who could get them. What rising costs are driving the conversation. We have that and much more to get you caught up on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. Wonderful to have you back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. And let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking the big picture and how things are going to shape up for us today.
Yeah, this next weather maker is something we've been tracking for the last several days. It is producing some thunderstorms moving into Mississippi, but that's well to our south. And really, as you look up along this front, there's no more rain until you get up to the Ohio Valley. So this is likely to be fairly dry for us. I've left us at a 20% chance, just in the off chance we see a sprinkle or two. I really wouldn't expect much measurable rain. I mean, less than 1/10 of an inch with this later on this evening. It should not affect your plans for the state fair unless you're planning to stay after dinner to the time of the fireworks. Right now it's 45 under clear skies. Beautiful out there. Here's a live look at North Hills too, looking just gorgeous. It's 45 degrees at RDU, and our dew point is way down at 41. So it'll feel a lot like it did yesterday heading out the door. 36 right now in Roxborough, but elsewhere temperatures are in the low to mid 40s. Going to be a beautiful day. We'll see 70 by lunchtime, and we climb to 78 this afternoon, which is warmer than what we saw yesterday. Behind the front, temperatures begin to drop. As a matter of fact, we could see some really chilly mornings later in the week. I'll show you that coming up. Ken?
8:01, Elizabeth. We're starting at that southern loop of the Beltline. We're seeing the usual congestion we see this time of the morning. Those are the westbound lanes coming toward us, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Boy, look at that sun glare in those eastbound lanes. So be mindful of that if you're coming around the bend, particularly if you get around the Lake Wheeler Road area. That southern loop of the Beltline, right now you're looking at a 10-minute delay starting around the I-40, I-440 interchange there in southeast Raleigh. No delays whatsoever if you're coming in from Garner, Johnson County, from Highway 36 to the Beltline this morning. We are seeing a situation on the northern loop of the Beltline. There are a couple of crashes, one around Wade Avenue, the other one around Capitol Boulevard, right now causing quite a bit of congestion. You're looking at a 21-minute delay from the I-87 440 interchange all the way over to Wade Avenue. But once you get past Glenwood Road, things, the Glenwood Avenue exit, things really clear up a little bit. We are seeing the usual morning congestion coming in from Knightdale this morning, I-87 and Smithfield Road right there. If you're coming in from Zebulon, you're in a rush this morning, I would recommend taking Knightdale Boulevard as an alternate route, especially if you're in a rush this morning. You want to avoid the traffic that's we're seeing right now in that 87 lanes coming in their southbound lanes. But right and truly, you're looking at a 10-minute delay either way, coming in from Knightdale, another 10-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, I want to take our viewers here in the WRAL Live Center to our view from Sky 5. This is live right now as we are above this situation. A log truck that appeared to have overturned, and all these logs have just scattered on the side of the road here. It's in the process of being cleaned up right now. As for where this specifically is, we're talking about along Bahama Road near Tilley Farm and Isham Chambers Road. You'll see here as we continue to zoom in the debris that's left over here. But in terms of injuries and what led up to that, that is what we are working to learn right now. That is unclear, but again, just a mess right now. I do want to show you this other perspective from the ground. This is from the Durham County Sheriff's Office. It was posted maybe 24 plus minutes ago, but you'll see right there after it happened, just so many logs on the side of the road there. Again, a bit of a mess. So right now what we're doing as they're in the process of cleaning up, trying to get this road reopened, is figure out what led up to this crash. Was anyone injured? And if we're trying to see how long this is going to take to clear, because yes, it's out there in terms of where this specifically is, no really dense populated areas, but this is definitely going to take a while to clean up given the severity of this crash.
All right, Chris, thank you. State Highway Patrol says a crash on I-95 this morning left people seriously hurt. This happened in Cumberland County near Chickenfoot Road before 1 o'clock this morning. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was at the scene, and you can see a tractor trailer and a car involved in that crash. A trooper told our crew at the scene that tractor trailer driver was impaired. We are working to learn how many people were hurt and the full extent of their injuries. And we're also trying to find out what caused a fire that shut down part of US 70 near Goldsboro overnight. Authorities in Wayne County say a grain dryer caught fire last night. The address listed is for the New Hope Milling Company. Several agencies responded to this fire. The Sheriff's Office and NCDOT shut down the westbound lane on US 70 while crews were working. No injuries have been reported. And Raleigh police are investigating a case involving a slow-moving train hitting a vehicle near the state fairgrounds. This happened last night at the intersection of Hillsborough Street and Powell Streets. It's not clear if anyone was in the car. No injuries were reported.
Today, state lawmakers returned to the Capitol to vote on new congressional maps. The new proposal would give Republicans an extra seat in next year's midterms. WRAL's Laura Levine live in Raleigh this morning. Laura, there's still a few more hurdles that map needs to clear before it becomes law.
Ken, good morning. North Carolina Republicans could vote as soon as today on a new congressional map that aims to protect the GOP's slim majority in the U.S. House of Representatives. So taking a look at the current map and comparing it to the new proposed map, you'll see the new map would make 11 of the state's 14 congressional districts favor Republicans, up from 10 in that current map. The Senate gave initial approval to the districts yesterday. After a final Senate vote today, the map is expected to head to the House for a series of votes. The changes are expected to oust one of the state's 3 black members of Congress by carving up an area of eastern North Carolina with a large black population. Republicans said they didn't use racial data to redraw the maps. Rather, they said they used political data. Now, Democrats are expected to protest this latest move here at the state legislature. Democratic lawmakers accusing Republican legislatures of using racism during this process. So Laura Levine, WRAL News, we're live in Raleigh.
And this reminder, all of our in-depth coverage of this redistricting push on the congressional maps can be found on the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com. Also happening today, advocates will gather in Raleigh to oppose cuts to North Carolina's Medicaid program. More than 24 groups are gathering for the Medicaid Day of Action. This comes weeks after cuts to the state's Medicaid program took effect. Governor Josh Stein previously said this was due to the lack of an agreement on a state budget. State lawmakers have questioned that decision, though. Today, advocates are expected to call on state lawmakers and the governor to come together and agree on funding. They're holding a news conference around 11 o'clock.
Also happening today, Wake County school leaders will be talking about who should get school-issued laptops. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live this morning at Wake County Public School headquarters for us. And Kelsey, the board will be talking about how necessary these computers are for certain grades.
Yes, Michelle, Wake County parents, your students have been receiving student-issued, or rather school-issued laptops similar to this one since 2020. And today, school leaders will talk about changing that. All Wake County students were given laptops at the start of the pandemic. Wake Schools is like most districts in the state. They didn't give out laptops until COVID, and they used federal pandemic relief dollars to do it.
That money ran out last year, and the Department of Public Instruction surveyed all these schools of, hey, can you replace these laptops? And the vast majority of them, including Wake County Schools, said they could not.
The district now uses money out of their facilities budget to pay for laptops. With mounting facility issues like broken HVACs, some school leaders think this money could be used elsewhere. Today's meeting that's scheduled for 2:30 here at Wake School headquarters is just a discussion. It's not going to be a vote. Changes that could potentially be implemented would not happen until next school year. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Well, tonight you have another opportunity to share your opinion on the future of land near RDU International. This is land that used to be used as part of Lake Crabtree Park, and RDU has plans to redevelop nearly 140 acres on Aviation Parkway into a recreation destination. It will include hotels, restaurants, and entertainment. The airport is hosting a public workshop on the plans tonight. That will be in the Frontier RTP building at 700 on Park Officers Drive from 4 this afternoon until 7 p.m.
The Carolina Hurricanes are no longer undefeated. The Vegas Golden Knights handed them their first loss of the season last night. The Canes were the last undefeated team in the NHL. The Knights took them down last night 4-1. The Canes are now 5-1 on the year. That's pretty good. They'll continue their Western road trip against the Colorado Avalanche on Thursday night.
All right, time now, 8:09, back in the legislature. A state lawmaker back at work after being charged with DWI over the weekend. The response from the top leader in his party.
And we're following that breaking news in Durham County where a log truck overturned on Bahama Road. Sky 5 over that scene right now. This is a live look. Drivers are asked to avoid the area near Tilly Farm Road as crews work to clean that mess up.
We have pretty sunshine out there right now, and temperatures will warm up nicely ahead of a front. Highs will be in the mid to upper 70s for this afternoon. But I'll show you why our front will drop our temperatures significantly in the next few days. Coming up. 8:13, following this front, which is finally starting to pop up some thunderstorms down here in Mississippi, we'll have a much lesser chance of rain, only a 20% chance, and that's likely to be starting around 8 or 9 o'clock. It really just doesn't look like many of us will see rain at all out of this system, but it will cool off our temperatures behind it. It's a cool start this morning, 45 in Durham and Raleigh, 45 in Fayetteville. You can see, of course, Dorton Arena and the fairgrounds with the Ferris wheels. It looks all ready to go again today. One thing you want to know is it's going to be windy. I was out there yesterday. It was a little breezy too. Winds will be out of the southwest at about 10 to 15 and then gusting 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour. Walking the dog this morning, it's been pretty chilly, but we climbed to 70 at lunchtime and then a high of 78 if you're headed out for an evening walk, back down to around 71. We're going to take a look at the tropics where a system could develop soon, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, at 8:14, we're going to stay with the situation on the Beltline. Let's start with the southern loop of the Beltline. You're looking at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road, the bumper-to-bumper traffic, the usual morning congestion we see there. You're looking at a 10-minute delay. No delays, really, if you're coming in from Garner-Johnston County on I-40 westbound. That northern loop of the Beltline as well, 440 New Bern Avenue. There are a couple of crashes there around Capitol Boulevard, Wake Forest Road as well. You're looking at a 19-minute delay, but things really begin to ease up around the 640 Glenwood Avenue area.
All right, thank you, Ken. And we're following that breaking news in Durham County where a log truck crashed this morning. This is a live look from Sky 5 over Bahama Road right now. The crash happened near Tilly Farm Road. The Durham County Sheriff's Office is urging drivers who use Bahama Road to find another route. You can see the mess that this caused here. We're working to learn what caused the crash and how long the cleanup will take. A state senator was back at work at the legislative building less than 48 hours after his DWI arrest. Senator Norman Sanderson represents 8 eastern North Carolina counties. He was arrested near the NC State Fairgrounds over the weekend. Court documents show he had a blood alcohol content twice the legal limit. Sanderson was at yesterday's Senate Elections Committee meeting, but he left quickly after it ended and did not talk to our reporter. We wanted to know how state leaders would hold the senator accountable. Take a listen to an exchange between WRAL state government reporter Will Doran and Senate President Pro Tem Phil Berger.
There are 2 lawmakers recently who've been arrested, Representative Brockman, Senator Sanderson. What do you think should happen with both of them? Should they resign?
So I think the legal process obviously has to work out. I know there have been folks on the House side that are looking at steps to take for Representative Brockman and attempting or a question about whether or not he ought to resign or should be removed. Remember, the situation with Senator Sanderson just happened over the weekend. I am not in a position at this point and don't anticipate I will be in a position to ask him to resign.
And Sanderson has issued a statement apologizing for the incident. He is charged with driving while impaired, failure to obey a traffic officer, and transporting an open container of alcohol. He is scheduled to appear in court on November 7th. And deputies in Wake County are investigating after a teen was seriously hurt in a shooting. Sky 5 flew over the scene on Ruby Drive near Raleigh yesterday afternoon. When deputies got there, they found a teenager with a gunshot wound. The victim was taken to the hospital. Deputies are still trying to find out what led to that shooting. No suspect information was released.
Former President Joe Biden is reportedly doing well after completing radiation for an aggressive form of prostate cancer. That's according to a Biden spokesperson. The former president announced his cancer diagnosis back in May. It's not yet known if he will need any additional treatment or what the next steps are in his care. Biden turns 83 next month.
Crews are demolishing part of the White House's East Wing. This is part of President Donald Trump's plans to build a new 90,000 square foot ballroom. Crews were at the White House yesterday tearing out walls and windows. Once it's refurbished, the new ballroom will be able to hold nearly 1,000 people. Work is expected to be completed before the end of his term.
18,000 drivers renewed their licenses online since a new state law took effect a couple of weeks ago. That new measure aims to cut down on long lines at the DMV. It's expanded online renewal options for driver's licenses, reducing the need for in-person visits. The DMV is also making progress in hiring more examiners, with 95% of the state's positions filled. The agency's commissioner also says the ability for teen drivers to upgrade their licenses to drive after 9 p.m. should be available in the coming weeks.
Wake County is adding 12 more full-time EMS positions. The goal is to meet the growing demands for service across the county. The new positions will be 7 paramedics and 5 EMTs. They were in part of the budget commissioners passed this summer. Applications are now open for the next Wake County EMS Academy in March.
Well, this next story will definitely warm your heart. The Taylor Swift donating $100,000 to a 2-year-old North Carolina girl battling a rare form of cancer. Lila has what's called an atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumor. She was diagnosed at 18 months old. Lila is a big Taylor Swift fan. With the help of her family and TikTok, she managed to catch Swift's eye.
I did not expect Taylor to see it or to do anything about it. I was just excited that more people were seeing our story and seeing our situation and what was going on. I truly am so blessed and feel so grateful to have this happen to us. I never dreamt of it, and thank you.
So many people have donated since then, more than doubling the initial donation amount for the family. The family's currently in Philadelphia for treatment and plan to return back to North Carolina in November, just in time, hopefully, for Thanksgiving.
The gates at the State Fair will open in less than an hour at 9 o'clock this morning, and tens of thousands of people are expected to head to the fairgrounds all this week and into the weekend. Nearly 200,000 people were at the State Fair over the opening weekend, 105,000 visitors Saturday, and more than 91,000 on Sunday. The fair will run through this Sunday, October 26th. Then you can come meet the WRAL family at the fair. Ken and I will be there this morning from 10:30 to 11:30. And then Ashley Rowe and Gerald Owens, they will be there from 2 to 3. We love meeting everybody. So come out, come stop by our table right in front of Dorton Arena there. It is always a good time, and I can't wait to go there and try the food.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best part.
So much food
Yes.
everywhere. It's going to be such nice weather for you today, and it looks like it's going to stay that way, most likely on into the weekend. 45 is the temperature, so it's a little on the cool side, but we are going to see a fast warm-up. We'll hit 70 by lunchtime, and standing out in that sunshine will feel warm. I was there yesterday, and in the sun, it was so warm. In the shade, it was pretty cool. But a difference today, our wind is coming out of the south. That's going to warm things up. Behind the front, wind is coming out of the northwest, and it's going to be a little bit breezy. There's some storms that have popped up along this front there in Mississippi, but we are not likely to see any storms. As a matter of fact, we won't see much rain at all. Here's Futurecast. We pause it at 5 to 6 p.m. We begin to see a bit of cloud cover. There's some rain back well to our west at 9 o'clock, but once that moves on into our area, closer to 11 or 12, there's just really nothing left. So even if you're headed to the fair to see the fireworks, I feel like you'll probably stay dry. I mean, I can't promise you won't see a quick sprinkle that rolls through, but we're not looking at a long soaking rain by any means. Minimal moisture with this front. Breezy today and tomorrow with some gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour, and then some chilly mornings Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. How much rainfall? Maybe a 1/10 of an inch, maybe a 100th of an inch. It's really not going to be very much for the next 7 days, and that includes Sunday night, and a Monday. We could see a chance of some rain overnight tonight. Again, it's just a 20% chance, so minimal amounts of rain. Now, what's happening in the tropics? This system is starting to get a little bit more organized. There's a 90%, 100% chance. All right, so they must have just updated it. So Melissa is the next name. I'll go check and see if it is now either a tropical depression or tropical storm. Melissa. Here's a look at where it's likely to head. Most likely over Haiti and Dominican Republic and then out into the Atlantic. But it may be a system that we're watching for a long time. No indication that it would make landfall in the United States, at least not right now. The most interesting thing in the 7-day forecast is that chilly morning on Friday, 41 degrees. We'll be grabbing those coats again, Ken.
Coffee code is coming out. So listen, you're getting ready to head out the door this morning in the southern loop of the Beltline, part of your morning commute. This is what you're running into, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us. So you're looking at a 14-minute delay between the Beltline and US 1 there in Cary. You're coming in from Johnston County between Highway 36 and the Beltline, no delay whatsoever. That northern loop of the Beltline, those crashes I told you about a little while ago has cleared, but we can still see the lingering delays and the usual morning congestion we see this time of the morning. So really and truly, between the I-440, 87 interchange all the way over to Capitol Boulevard, things begin to ease up a little bit around Six Forks Road, and then again around Glenwood Avenue. You're looking at a 60-minute delay in that northern loop of the Beltline. So many of you use I-540 as an alternate route. This is what you're looking at, a 14-minute delay between Capitol Boulevard and Creedmoor Road. And once you get past Creedmoor Road, it's clear sailing. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Supporting teen drivers. It can be expensive when they hit the road for the first time. 5 on Your Side has steps you can take to save your family hundreds of dollars a year in insurance costs. And series on hold. Hulu's look into the UNC locker room and head coach Bill Belichick has been paused.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio in Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey, starting off really chilly this morning, but we're going to warm up really nicely. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center in the 40s.
Yeah, the sun shines so pretty out there, but still cool. 45 in Durham, Raleigh, and in Fayetteville. Of course, a live look shows all the blue skies, and it's so neat to see the Ferris wheel sitting there right beside the Dorton Arena. We do have the chance of some rain this evening. It's likely to be after 9 o'clock, more like 10 or 11, so a lot of us may be asleep before that rain shows up, and our chances of totals, probably a tenth or less of an inch. Exercise forecast 51 by 9 o'clock. By 1 o'clock, we're already up to 73. We'll see a high of 78. Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now, we're seeing the usual morning congestion on that southern loop of the Beltline. That's I-40, Lake Wheeler Road. The westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. You might want to watch for that sun glare in those eastbound lanes. Right now, you're looking at a 8-minute delay if you're coming in from Apex on US 1, a 3-minute delay if you're coming in from Nightdale on 87. Boy, things have gotten a lot better, and you're just looking at an 11-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest. The other troubled spot is coming in from Wake Forest. You're coming in on Highway 98 to Durham. You're looking at a 19-minute delay. I'll have another update at the bottom of the hour over in Fox 50.
Thanks, Ken. Crews in Durham County working to clean up after a log truck crashed. This happened on Bahama Road near Tilly Farm Road. We are working to learn what caused the crash and how long the cleanup will take. And happening today, state lawmakers are voting on new congressional maps for 2026. The new proposal would give Republicans 1 extra seat in the upcoming midterms. The Senate still has to give final approval before it heads to the House. Next on Fox 50, the debate over school-issued laptops in Wake County. And coming up on Today, one-on-one with Ethan Hawke as he discusses Blue Moon.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 8:30, log truck overturned. This is a look from Sky 5 of the scene right now on Bahama Road in Durham County. What we're learning about this crash as crews work to clear debris.
And our next weather maker is a cold front headed our way. It's warm ahead of it. I'll show you our chances for rain, which look minimal tonight.
And redistricting vote changes to these states' redistricting maps could become law today, while Democrats are pushing back as Republicans make swift moves in the legislature.
And future of school tech. Wake County school leaders will discuss whether every student needs a laptop, how this could impact the district's youngest children. A very important story we are following for you on your Tuesday morning. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Ken Smith. Yeah, you step out the door this morning, you need
it's chilly.
that chilly.
It's chilly out there.
Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Yeah, that sunshine behind you guys is beautiful, and we're seeing sunny skies everywhere. The high pressure system will help to shift our winds today to southerly, and that will warm things up fast, but it has definitely been a chilly start. Some thunderstorms popping up along this front in Mississippi. Excuse me. And then behind the front, we get into much cooler temperatures. Hour by hour, our chance of rain this evening is 20% until we get to around 10 or 11. It looks like we could see just an isolated shower at that point. I think our potential for rain is going to be less than a tenth of an inch overnight tonight. Right now it's 45 with sunshine here at the State Fair. And we take a look at North Hills, looking beautiful with all that sun, 45 degrees with a dew point at 41. So nice and dry as you're heading out. Still 39 up in Roxborough, but temperatures for the most part are in the mid 40s right now, a little bit cooler at Rocky Mount at 40 degrees. A quick warm up to 70 at lunchtime, and we'll see a high of 78 this afternoon. Coming up, we're going to talk more about some cooler temperatures that arrive after tonight's front. Ken?
Oh, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL traffic center. It looks like congestion beginning to ease in that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Boy, you folks going heading into the eastbound lane, be mindful of that sun glare delay. Now you're looking at an 8-minute delay in that southern loop of the Beltline. No delays whatsoever if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County Highway 36 to the Beltline. We're seeing the usual congestion building on that northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 and New Bern Avenue. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic. So here's what you're looking at. You're looking at a 14-minute delay between the I-440, 87 interchange to Capitol Boulevard. Things begin to clear up just a little bit around Glenwood Avenue, and then it's clear sailing all the way to Wade Avenue this morning. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out. In terms of other routes coming into the capital city, if you're coming in from Apex, you're looking at an 8-minute delay. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown around Highway 55, a 5-minute delay. You're coming in from Durham. The main troubled spot, folks, Fins in Wake Forest, you're looking at an 11-minute delay this morning, so keep that in mind. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. And we are on top of that breaking news out of Durham County this morning, where a log truck crashed this morning. This is video from Sky 5 over Bahama Road near Tilly Farm Road. You can see crews moving those logs to the side of the road to try and clear all of that debris. The Durham County Sheriff's Office is urging drivers who use Bahama Road to find another route. We are working to learn what caused the crash and how long that cleanup will take.
Time is 8:33 here in the WRAL Live Center. We have this story that we just saw this morning from the Raleigh Professional Firefighters Association. According to their social media posts, they say around 2:20 yesterday afternoon, somebody was doing work for the TSR tree service there. A member of Raleigh Fire was doing a tree removal duty off of Skycrest Road, and that's when a car hit them, and the driver just kept on going. Due to the injuries that were involved in this, that firefighter was sent to the hospital, currently being monitored in stable condition, according to them. They say he was wearing a helmet at the time of that crash, but we're trying to get more information on who the driver was. That information not being released yet, but what we're going to do is reach out to investigators and try to figure out more information in regard to this. But certainly, at least it sounds like, again, stable condition, at least still alive with us, and hopefully that person makes a swift recovery.
All right, Chris, thank you. State Highway Patrol says a crash on I-95 this morning left people seriously hurt. It happened in Cumberland County near Chickenfoot Road before 1 a.m. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on scene. You can see a tractor trailer and a car involved in that crash. A trooper told our crew at the scene that that tractor trailer driver was impaired. We are working to learn how many people were hurt and the extent of their injuries.
We're also trying to find out what caused the fire that shut down part of Highway 70 near Goldsboro overnight. Authorities in Wayne County say a grain dryer caught fire late last night. The address listed is for the New Hope Milling Company. Several agencies responded to that fire. Now, the sheriff's office said the state DOT shut down the westbound lane of Highway 70 while crews were working. No injuries have been reported. Raleigh police are investigating a case involving a slow-moving train hitting a vehicle near the state fairgrounds. This happened last night at the intersection of Hillsborough Street and Powell Street. It's not clear if anyone was in the car. No injuries were reported.
Today, changes to the state's congressional districts could become official. A new map drawn by state Republicans is moving quickly through the legislature. WRAL's Laura Levine is outside the legislative building this morning. And Laura, this map would give Republicans an additional advantage in the 2026 election.
Michelle, good morning. North Carolina Republicans could vote as soon as today on a new congressional map that aims to protect the GOP's super slim majority we know in the U.S. House of Representatives. So taking a look at the current map and what's being proposed right now, you'll see that the new map would make 11 of the state's 14 congressional districts favor Republicans, up from 10 in the current map. The Senate gave initial approval to the districts yesterday. After a final Senate vote today, the map is expected to head to the House for a series series of votes. The changes are expected to oust one of the state's 3 black members of Congress by carving up an area of eastern North Carolina with a large black population. Republicans said that they didn't use racial data to redraw the maps. Rather, they said they used political data. WRAL state government reporter Paul Space says Democrats are essentially powerless to stop the map from becoming law.
Governor Josh Stein is a Democrat, and he opposes this newly proposed map, which would likely dwindle the Democrats' influence in Washington, D.C. But he doesn't have the power to veto it. He has power to veto other things, but not election maps.
Democrats are expected to protest this latest move here at the state legislature today. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And we've covered the many congressional map redistricting efforts that have happened in North Carolina for years. You can find that coverage on WRAL.com and on the WRAL News app.
Well, Wake County school leaders discussing whether every student, maybe yours, will get a school-issued laptop. Let's get right to WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live outside the Wake County Schools headquarters there in Cary. And Kelsey, specifically, the school board will discuss how well technology helps the youngest students, correct?
Yes, Ken, Wake County parents, your students have already had these student-issued laptops, or rather school-issued laptops, similar to this one, since 2020. And today, school leaders are talking about changing that. So all Wake County students were given laptops at the start of the pandemic. Wake Schools is like most districts in the state. They didn't give out laptops until COVID, and they used federal pandemic relief dollars to do it. Well, those funds ran out last year, causing the district to use money out of their facilities budget to pay for the technology. With mounting facilities issues like broken HVAC systems, school leaders think the money for laptops could be used elsewhere.
The superintendent and the school board chair earlier this year said they're really not sure the school district's youngest students, think kindergartners and first graders, really need to have a laptop issued to them individually. They really want to save money where they can.
Today's meeting that's scheduled for 2:30 here at Wake School headquarters is just going to be a discussion. There's no vote planned for today. If any changes do happen, that won't occur until next school year. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, I'm in Cary.
And one more note about the school board. That body is also expected to talk about reassignment plans and changes to special education. We'll have the latest on the meetings in our evening newscast starting at 4 p.m.
Today, a plan to make downtown Raleigh quiet takes another step in city council. WRAL's Ali Calabar is live on Glenwood South this morning. And Ali, this is one of the areas that is specifically being targeted in this noise ordinance.
And that's because, Michelle, Glenwood South, it's known for its very active, very lively, very loud bar scene, especially on the weekends. And these bars, along with several others throughout the city, may have to start monitoring their volume level as soon as today if the city council approves this proposal. Now, this ordinance would set decibel limits based on the time, the location, and the day of the week. It would allow Glenwood South to have higher sound levels than other places, with more restrictions on the weekdays and weekday nights. Businesses with permits could play music louder than those without the permit. Raleigh police would have staff monitoring the decibel levels and enforcing this. Businesses who violate the restrictions could face a $1,500 fine. Now, we heard from both bar owners as well as community members about this ordinance in a public hearing last week. They expressed approval but also concern for it. So we're going to hear from city council leaders tonight. Or today at 1 p.m. WRAL is going to be following this. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
All right, I want to talk about the North Carolina State Fair. If you're 65 and older today and getting ready to head to this fall classic, you get in free today. It's Senior Citizens Day. Bojangles biscuits and coffee will be available at Dorton Arena starting at 9 o'clock this morning, just a few minutes from now. There'll also be a program with music and comments from Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler. That will happen around 10 o'clock this morning. And if you are at the State Fair, stop by our tent and say hello. We'd love to see you. Michelle and I will will be there starting at 10:30 this morning. We'll be there for an hour until 11:30. Then Ashley Rowe and Gerald Owens will be there this afternoon from 2 to 3. Be sure to stop by and say hello. We always enjoy meeting our loyal viewers.
It's amazing. It's always so much fun. All right, the LA Dodgers. It's official. They will face the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series. Yeah, this kind of sealed the deal for them. The Blue Jays beat the Mariners 4-3 in Game 7 of the American League Championship Series. That 3-run homer that you just saw from George Springer in the 7th put them on top. This is the first time the Blue Jays have made it to the World Series since 1993. The Dodgers will look to defend their championship starting in Toronto. Game 1 is this Friday at 8 p.m. and you can watch it right here on Fox 50.
Canada versus the U.S. in baseball. Love it. And late night Monday Night Football action on ESPN. The Houston Texans took on the Seattle Seahawks on the West Coast. The Seahawks took a quick 14-0 lead, and the Texans could not keep up. A late attempt at a comeback from Houston failed, and Seattle picked up the win 27-19, which was good since the team lost earlier in that baseball game.
Yes. Well, the Detroit Lions defense stepped up big time against Tampa Bay last night at home on ESPN. The Lions held the Buccaneers to just 9 points. The Lions got that win 24-9.
All right, top now, 8:42 conviction appeal. Sean Diddy Combs pushing back against the decision in his federal trial, while his team says he was not given a fair sentence.
And supporting teen drivers. They can be risky behind the wheel and costly to insure. 5 on Your Side, it shares these smart moves that could save your family hundreds of dollars a year.
Heading outside, as Elizabeth has been talking about all morning, breezy days ahead. This is a live look at downtown Apex. There's Salem Street. Gusty winds expected this week as a cold front moves in. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner showing us the showers that could come with it. All coming up.
It's 8:46. Just a little while ago, we pulled up the tropics, and it was 100% chance that this system was going to develop. So I wanted to revisit it again. It's unusual for the National Hurricane Center to throw up 100% chance of developing without actually saying, oh, yeah, it's a tropical depression, it's a tropical storm. But they do say later on today, they're going to send the hurricane hunters in this morning and then make a determination about whether it'll be a tropical depression or a tropical storm. The system is, of course, at 100% chance of development. The next name is Melissa. Take a look at the computer model plots. It starts to move northward most likely. And when I take a look at the European and the American models, they both eventually develop it and move it back out into the Atlantic, but away from the United States. So it may be something that we watch for a while, but at this point, it doesn't look like something that would affect us in the U.S., Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, you were seeing the usual morning congestion, the ebb and flow of that congestion on the southern loop of the Beltline. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic. 10 minutes ago, it was moving rather smoothly. Now it has slowed down quite a bit. Right now, we're looking at a 9-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. Similarly, we're seeing that northern loop of the Beltline as well between Glenwood Avenue, Wake Forest Road, and the like. You're looking at a 17-minute delay, so keep that in mind as you're about to head out this morning. And the State Fair opens just in 9 o'clock. So here's what we're looking at. A little bit of a slowdown. We just saw the dissipated right there in Hillsborough Street. So if you're getting ready to head to the State Fair, it's clear sailing.
And we will be heading there shortly. Thanks, Ken. Well, as parents know all too well, teen drivers tend to be riskier on the road, which means they're more expensive to insure. Here's 5 on Your Side's Ashley Rowe with tips to help families choose the right car and make smart insurance choices that could save thousands of dollars each year.
The type of car matters because teens have crash rates nearly 4 times those of drivers 20 plus. And car crashes are the leading cause of death for ages 15 to 24. Choosing the right vehicle is critical.
You're going to want to choose a car that isn't too small and also that isn't too fast. Not only is it going to be cheaper to insure, but it's also going to give that teen driver a better sense of their speed.
Consumer Reports and the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety identified more than 50 used cars under $20,000 that have performance and features designed to keep young drivers out of a crash, but that also have high levels of crash protection if the worst does occur. On the list, popular picks like the Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, and Hyundai Tucson. But finding the right car is only half the challenge. Insuring your teen can be pricey. Premiums can run much higher than for experienced drivers. One common question, should you put your teen on a separate plan?
In general, no. Putting your kid in a separate plan will cost more money. So shop around. As we found, and as we find over and over, loyalty doesn't pay. Insurance companies want to attract you with lower rates.
Consumer Reports found that the median savings for policyholders who switched insurers recently was $461 on their annual premium. As for coverage, it may be tempting to cut back on collision or comprehensive to save money, but CR advises against that. Depending on the value of your home and other assets, you may also want to ask about an umbrella policy. It's extra liability coverage that goes beyond the limits of your auto and homeowner's insurance. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
Sean Diddy Combs is fighting back on the results in his federal prostitution case. His legal team filed an appeal challenging his conviction and the 50-month sentence. Combs says the judge was wrong to weigh allegations tied to charges that he was acquitted of, including racketeering and sex trafficking claims. The sentence is longer than the 14 months his lawyers sought, but well below the 11 years that prosecutors wanted.
Well, tonight you can give your thoughts on traffic changes coming to some Durham streets. The city of Durham holding a public open house from 5:30 this evening until 7. There will be a first look at the two-way traffic design plans for Roxborough and Mangum streets. It will focus on creating safer roads for drivers, walkers, and emergency vehicles. Traffic signals and signs will also be redesigned for the new traffic pattern next year.
The Mega Millions jackpot for tonight's drawing is $650 million. That is the 10th largest amount in the game's history. The last time there was a top 10 jackpot was last December. And you can watch tonight's drawing live on WRAL before our 11 o'clock news. And if one of us isn't here tomorrow, you know why. I'm just kidding. We would still come to work.
Of course we would.
All right. It's pretty nice out there this morning. It's chilly, though. You need a jacket.
It is. And that's going to change. We're going to see our flow shifting to southerly this afternoon, and that's going to warm us up nicely back into the upper 70s to nearly 80 degrees. High pressure moving away to make way for our cold front. That cold front comes in tonight with a very small chance of rain after around, say, 10 or 11 o'clock. And then after that, we're going to wake up to sunshine tomorrow morning. It'll just be cooler. We'll kick things off here on Futurecast starting right around 2 o'clock or so and move it out into the afternoon. By 4 or 5 o'clock, we begin to see the clouds thickening up. And then at 6 o'clock, there's rain well to our west. We'll pause it at 9 o'clock. We're still dry. Keep this in mind if you're planning to head to the fair. Now, if you're staying all the way through fireworks, which I think are closer to 10 or 10:30, it's possible that there would be a sprinkle, but I mean, look at your chances there. I mean, still minimal. A little sprinkle, a tiny shower that comes through. That's about it. So, tuck a little umbrella into your bag. You probably won't even need it. It's beautiful out there this morning. This is a live look at the fairgrounds and, of course, a look at North Hills, where temperatures are in the mid-40s. So it is still pretty chilly out there. It's going to be a bit breezy for today, too. So that's going to make the temperatures feel a little cooler. Right now, we're mainly in the mid to upper 40s. It's 44 in Cary, 46 in Apex, 45 in Garner, 43 in Rollsville, 78 in Raleigh and Durham today, and then 80 in Fayetteville. So definitely feeling nice and warm. Our winds are likely to be gusty, anywhere from 15 to 20, maybe even 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. And then 78 again today, looking at 73 Wednesday and 70 on Thursday. So we're looking at very pleasant conditions at the State Fair. The coolest morning, the most interesting thing really, I think, on the 7-day forecast is this 41 for Friday morning. That's going to feel really chilly and then a little bit warmer, at least for the overnight lows. We get into a small chance for rain on Sunday night into Monday, and we'll talk more about whether that could affect your State Fair plans coming up.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. And before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.